Send prompts, not nudes. I just want to AI some shit.
If you simulate an artist who just made a song, right? And that model was that model wasn't trained on that content. It's not even in the context when it's not even in the training data.
I think that's a really good use case, though.
Yeah.
Dude, what I want to see a rap battle where, like, you know, like the Drake and what was the whole thing over the summer with the dueling rappers. Like, I want like one of them to like get in a fight with an AI model.
No, you
That
don't.
would be
like,
I would
like
I would want to see that.
Oh, me and James.
It'd be amazing.
But I will take Eminem any day versus one of me and James's AI models all day, every day.
Yeah, that's.
I will spin, reverse, fuck up Eminem's entire.
Well, I think it was Will I Am. I think Will I Am from Black Eyed Peas. He was talking about. I'm just paraphrasing this, but he was talking about this topic, and his perspective is like the lazy artists out there, the artists who are just kind of like creating like canned music. They should be fearful. He said, but the real artists, the real artists,
I don't know.
They don't
like
need to...
like think about the general populace. I think you're onto something. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Well, Will I Am is onto something.
Well, I mean, Will I Am's also involved with like AI model generation for music, so I mean, he has a dog in the fight here. But
that's true. That's true.
I mean, like if you want to, what's really funny about this, especially for the artist side, is there's a whole and I have a lot of musician friends. I don't know how it just happened, and they hate AI music right now. They are very, very upset when I send them.
I'm sure they are.
They're very upset. I would say it's like it's a thing we don't talk about at parties. I'll put it that way, except when I bring it up.
There you go. That sounds about right.
Yep. I know. It's about right. James is like, and the shoe fits. So I text them AI music all the time because I am who I am, and just deal with it.
Yep.
I sent something. Nicole loves a lot of the AI music I do, and she ended up sending it to a group of the friends that have like artists in the music community. And actually, they're a big media company for other artists. They represent like 80 of the big artists, and instantly the response back is, "This AI? Did John make this with the AI?"
My son has actually been going around asking to make music. So we've made AI songs for him, and he's like, again, derivative lawsuits, copyright, but he was singing a song that sounded like a Taylor Swift song, but like he wanted to make it like his own version.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could do this. Like this weekend, we could do it. And he's like, how do you make the picture so it shows up on Spotify? I'm like, oh, we can do this too.
Mm-hmm.
So, my 5.5-year-old, not really for lawyers who are asking, is going to help rip off a Taylor Swift song this weekend about our hometown. And he's like super excited about it. And I think that's awesome.
So I think you're using terminology that already puts it in a bad light. You're saying rip it off. Like,
yes,
I don't think
I'm trying to be controversial here.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
but yeah, in reality, it'll be its own thing, right? First off, like no company is going to do that, right? I'd have to train the model myself if I wanted to get around James, me. Very obviously.
You brought up Will I Am, so I had to look this up, and I for the audience, I used O3 Mini High with internet because yes. And Will I Am has been quite vocal in his perspective about the AI music industry.
No pun intended.
Yeah. In December 2024, interviewed by the New York Post, he explained that true artists shouldn't be worried about AI replacing them. According to him, the real threat isn't to the creative process itself, but to the non-creatives, like managers, labels, finance, and attorneys that support the music business. He stated that if you are making music solely to chase trends, for example, to please an algorithm or platforms like TikTok, then AI might indeed do your job better. I think it's well put.
Yeah.
Well, but like, so that's this is the cool thing about that statement. Why is that true? Well, guess what? If everybody's trying to get trend on TikTok and they're creating music for trend on TikTok, guess what? I bet you every single model that's ever been built to replicate AI music is using those trendy music like songs. So like it's kind of like that. Yeah, that makes sense. And James, we kind of saw this with like playing with Suno, right? Like certain genres are way easier to create. So, oh my god, it's literally like night and day. Don't you dare try to create metalcore. But like you want to create like Taylor Swift. Oh Jesus, like it sounds like Taylor Swift. Like that was I love your point, Randy, because one of the things my daughter did when I was creating AI, like some of the AI music albums, and putting the band up on like Apple Music and Spotify and all that stuff. She wanted to do that. She was just like, I like Taylor Swift, but I want my own, my own Taylor Swift with my lyrics that I create. And I'm like, okay, cool. What do you want to call her? Nova Sky. I'm like, okay, fine. We'll go with Nova Sky. So I don't know if the name's changed at this point, but like I went through my whole like process, like built out all the people in the band and all that kind of crap, and like created an album with an album cover of like she's walking through like a field, like touching the tops of grass, and it's like daylight. The fun part about this was in doing that like replication and extrapolation, I have 10 years of Nova Sky's albums already pre-made. Like all the lyrics, all the songs, like the progression, the movement from folk to Americana, like folk to like pop, like her entire career was mapped out in a matter of like one weekend. And at any point, like my daughter goes, cool, when's the next album dropping? I get to just go boop, 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 boop. And I get to like give her an album.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I used it to, so I had a great, I think 3 great grandfather. He was an opera singer in southern Italy. And,
James, I swear you have to edit some of these clips in. Like you got to show, because you killed this.
Yeah, well, I kind of took his backstory. He owned a vineyard. Actually, I think my mom still has a bottle of wine from that vineyard. It's probably vinegar at this point, but
next week let's fill it up.
Yeah, but yeah. So I did as much research as I could, found it as much as I could about the backstory and all that stuff, and recreated his arias and with Suno, actually, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So that's another cool. I bring that up because it's like John, you're talking about like, how you could do it for like your daughter and how you can have fun with it like for today. But then there's also this other aspect of like, well, hey, I had family in the past who I want to, in some sort of way, like bring back, right? And experience,
which is crazy
today. Yeah, which is pretty. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
I don't mean crazy like you're crazy, but I mean like just the conceptually thinking about that. Like, can you imagine talking to just our parents, like at our age group, and saying, hey, I'm going to bring back insert thing or family member or the personification of who they are. Like, oh my word. How cool is that?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. And yeah, just generating the music in general too. Like, it's just hours and hours of entertainment, which is what music is for, right? It's for entertainment. So I sort of get the your daughter's opinion of like, I want my music my way. And then I play guitar. I'm somewhat musical.
You don't just play guitar. You fucking shred.
Yeah, but well, that's no, I don't. But I'm okay. Um, but point is like for the entertainment value, I could sit down for hours and generate music and try different things, like customize it in certain ways and come up with some really unique creations, and it's fun to share them. I mean, John, me and you have probably spent
Oh,
like just hours,
days
yeah,
at this point.
probably days at this point, just going like sending songs back and forth, and yeah, it's a blast.
So
I love
I
it.
have a really cool moment to share on that vein, because I think you just brought up something that's really cool. The empowerment behind like being able to do something that you previously thought you couldn't do. And or like pull that, like that feeling or that moment in. And so I have a friend who is like, I think is pretty awesome, and maybe we'll have her on the podcast and she can share the story. But like, she has been writing music and nobody has known it for years, like, or for decades, I guess at this point. And it's been like a thing between her and her significant other for a long period of time, but like nobody else knows. So her significant other was like, dude, like, let John turn that into AI music, like and give you a band and give you backup singers and like turn it into a whole thing. And I had no clue if I could do it, but I was like, sure, I'll try. Like, yeah. So they came over, they played their song that they really, really wanted, and I recorded it, and then I started on like my prompt tech journey to turn it into something. And it took about 3 hours of like prompting, reprompting, like, and all sorts of like experimentation. But at the end of it, it was exactly what she wanted. It was like a production level value song of the song that she had wrote. And it was like almost, it was close enough to like her vocal, but it was literally the exact melody that she sang.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it was crazy because it like, they were like really, really like, I don't know, emotional about it. And it was like a thing. And it was really cool to like, for me also, because I went to art school and all the crap that like my background is and all sorts of random shit that I've delved into. And one of the things that I love to do is write. I just like writing and I like words. I think, James, you know that. Like, I love vocabulary and I find it fascinating. I don't know if I've ever called it the fabric of our reality. That's probably got to be the coolest way to term it. But like, I just find words absolutely fascinating. My brain just latches onto them. My favorite stat. You guys have Grammarly?
Have used it. I don't use it right now. But...
Okay. I use Grammarly because I'm horribly dyslexic. Like, you guys know this. It's embarrassing. Most of the time, I misspell practically everything in chat. Grammarly is my only savior, and usually I'm moving too fast to give a fuck. And you guys do it with grace and deal with it. James especially has seen it for years and years and years and never gives me shit about it unless it's so bad he can't figure out what it says. But
a couple times. Yep.
Yeah, it gets bad sometimes. But like, for me, Grammarly has been a life save because it helps me like communicate like a human being in text. And there's one really, really funny thing in Grammarly, because I get a monthly report. It says like how many words you used and how many things you wrote and all this different stuff. And it's like, you are in the top 1% for amount of text written. You are in the you have 0.001% of word diversity. It's like it like every month. It's really funny because like, it's like you use more words than anyone in our user base on a monthly basis. And the other one that cracks me up is it's like, from a grammar perspective, you are like 70 percentile for like sentence structure and proper grammar and spelling. It's like it's polar opposite on the other side of like doing anything from an English perspective that I should be doing when trying to communicate.
What's your number one most repeated word?
Like,
Okay.
no, I don't know. If I were talking to each other,
I
like,
thought it was gonna be another 4-letter word, but
James is like, God damn it! Somebody's gonna have to bleep that out later.
beep beep.
Wait, so back on
You're
the
probably
music
right,
stuff,
though.
guys. Is it everything in Suno, or are you using other tools like to do that, like production? What were you working on?
Most of what I do is Suno. However, there's another fun Chinese model that came out. I can't pronounce it. YUE.
Yeah.
They just call it yeah.
Yeah.
But that one, I've got that one set up and configured locally, and it can generate music. I would say it's like the difference between that and Suno is it's getting hard to, it's like kind of hard to tell. Like I think Suno's a little bit better. But they're close.
It depends on the genre.
There are limits in Suno, right? You can only fit so many characters into the prompt, and
Suno does a really good job in their web UI, and they still have not figured out how to do a mobile app. I'll put it that way. Like, it is night and day difference between what you can do in their mobile app and what you can do online, which is kind of interesting, personally. But from their online perspective, I don't. They still haven't figured out how to handle symbols, which is hilarious to me. I feel like their newest model V4 is it V4, James? Am I talking right? Yeah. It's good. It does great things, but I've literally found myself in negative, like, hey, there's a drum kit, and the drum kit has everything on the normal drum kit, but do not dare put cymbals on that stinking drum kit, because if you do, all you're going to hear is cymbals.
They tuned that. It's not as bad. Unless
you have a song that you try to upscale and it has it in it, and then it just keeps doing.
Once it like upscales, then it's
done.
It amplifies the issue.
So, but like that, I mean, in my opinion, they are the best in the market, unless you're trying to be very, very, very specific. And then I think Udio does it a little bit better because you have more control over very, very specific instruments and how they come in, and timing, and the prompts can be a little more controlled. Me personally, I actually use I use 3. So I'm anywhere between, I think it's called Moises, or I don't know how it's said, Udio and Suno. And for any project that I'm doing where I'm trying to create an album, I'm using all 3 at the exact same, like, to finish out the album. And then at the end of it, when I go into SoundCloud, I'm using Dolby tuning to like kind of finish it off. And I don't know what they're doing there, but you want to talk about like a really user-friendly tool. Here's 3 options. Do you want to do this, this, or this? And then it does everything else. That tool is probably one of the best sound tuning whatever tools, and I'm sure there's a bunch of artists rolling in their graves and people flipping out on the other side of this, but it is so easy to take a song that you thought sounded good and push a button really, and it sounds really good.
Yeah, that's the one thing that any generative text to song AI that I've seen is not super great at is the equalization, like the post-production value. But yeah, what John's saying, that thing clears it right up. Like,
it's amazing.
Really, really well.
Like
nice.
It actually has, the coolest thing to me was, even though I'll call it their bass heavy side, I think they call it Thunder or Thunderstorm or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. it is bass heavy, and it's made for multiple types of sounds. Like you could have EDM on it, you could have, insert any bass heavy, but like you can also have your metal, you can have like your pop even on it if you really want to. Your pop may sound better on, I think it's called convertible, but I can't remember all the different settings. But like what's amazing to me is how well it handles different types of music. The thing that blows me away is you don't even get to tune it on your entire song. You choose, I think it's a 30-second portion of your song with the 2 highest amounts of diversity. And then once you've chosen that, you hit that button and it just does everything else. And on the other side, you're like, I can't help but like love every single time it's tuned it.
Nice. We're going to have to mix in some clips here, guys, for your, best hits.
Sure.
So
many.
Because my listeners love metal.
That's okay. We can use AI to switch that to polka.
Oh God! What cracks me up though,
the two songs that I have, the 2 top songs on Suno, I've got over 3,000 plays at this point. The 2 top songs are one of the metal songs I have, and then one of the opera.
Well, the opera is crazy. I'm telling you, like that. Like seriously, it's absolutely just crazy. I don't know.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I actually enjoy listening to it. I never was an opera fan until I started doing this, and it was
back to our whole like prompt, ideation, and like are you creating something original or not? So I created this whole like folk metal.
That's pretty original.
It only uses folk music like banjos and guitars and drums and stuff like that, but it's metal like riffs and solos, and like James, you're like nodding your head like you know where this is going. Like the whole like way it's designed, I love it. It is my genre. I will listen to that every day, all day over any band. It is my favorite thing right now.
Send me some songs. I need to listen to that. That sounds interesting.
So remember when I took the band that I created and I turned them into that whole like acoustic version, the MTV acoustics?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So turn that into the next layer down, which is folk metal.
Okay.
That's what it is. But yeah, I'll send you some stuff.
All right.
All right.
We covered a lot of ground here.
We did. What's the next topic? Or
I
did
think
we miss something?
I don't know.
I think we covered a lot. We talked about O3, R1, security, risk, entertainment.
Can we
music?
Can we talk about my O3 prompt that I dropped into chat a second ago on what it said we should talk about?
Let's do it. What does O3 think we should talk about?
Killing me. I want you guys to read that for a second because it is absolutely hilarious.
Sex, gender,
part of the fun of filming this thing.
What?
What's your prompt?
Where did you get that?
It's in the thing you sent. It's number
You're shitting me.
6. Sex, gender, and the future of love. Breaking the binary.
It is.
What? John, what was your prompt for this thing?
Hold please. My prompt was, I need podcast
topics
for this week that will blow people's mind with dialogue examples.
All right.
All right.
Number 1 is digital dystopia when AI becomes your overlord. Oh, it looks like that's already happened.
Cancel culture, the modern witch hunt. Delve into the fierce debates over who gets canceled and why the power dynamics of social media might be a digital lynching in disguise.
James, hey, I think that sounds like its own podcast. AI cancel culture.
This is like AI. Can you do psyops to like create the most controversial,
oh my god,
attention grabbing?
I thought that's what we were going to talk about with R1.
Yeah,
I mean, but look at it. Climate con corporate greed versus global warming.
Ooh.
Yep. Political puppeteering behind closed doors. The meme economy. I love this one. When internet culture meets Wall Street.
Actually,
I saw that movie.
I actually kind of want to talk about that. I think that's actually that's one I would do. I'm just gonna say
that's fun. I love memes. I was consulting for one of the better known online brokerages that occasionally advertises with babies. When the GameStop thing happened. And so watching that kind of blow up from their side was crazy. When all the order volume came in, driven by the memes from Wall Street Bets. That I think is more to come from that. Although I don't know what are we supposed to talk about this? What meme did I share last week that moved the market? I mean, probably the one with the boyfriend and girlfriend and the guys looking at the other girl. With R1 is the other girl and O1 is like the government and Stargate and OpenAI and stuff. That's probably the meme that moved the market the most.
Which is, I'm just going to say, stupid. Like, I'm just going to call it out. Like, seriously, our economy is so sensitive that a meme determines billions of dollars.
The funny thing is, John, it's always been that way. There's the meme of the guy shooting the guy.
I'm not arguing the fact that it is or isn't. What I'm saying is, I'm sorry, but our social media and the fact that one meme from one idiot can determine billions of dollars in a 24-hour time frame. Come on.
Yeah.
Like if there's any oh man, this is gonna send me on a rant. I'm not gonna rant. We'll save a rant for another time. I'm sorry, but that is ridiculous. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous.
It's the message being delivered and its virality. It's not the meme.
I know. I know, James, but like the way that it operates,
the delivery mechanism is like one of those bang guns, right?
Yeah. Well, but it's also this. Every major city is sitting on the brink of 72 hours of hunger.
Yeah, I mean,
right? So nobody thinks about that. Nobody talks about it. It's not a big thing that we throw on social media, but the reality is if you start, blowing a bridge up or, taking out I-70 or blockading it, there are major metropolitan areas that will start having people starve within 72 hours.
Well, perfect example.
This is O3's idea? Did O3 suggest that?
No. This is my personal experience with doing counterintelligence assessments in the government. Most major metropolitan areas have 48 hours to 72 hours before the main populace can no longer buy food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if a bunch of chickens get the flu, right? Your price of eggs go from $5 to $9.
Well, but actually, Katrina's a great example.
Yeah, that's a great example.
It's actually the most salient example. All of a sudden, supply chains cut off, and what happened? Nobody really talks about all the shit that went down, but it was martial law on U.S. soil. People were shooting neighbors for food. These are widely known facts that nobody wants to bring up anymore because it's this is the U.S. We're an advanced culture. But when we look at things our economy teeters on a meme. Companies' evaluations can rise and fall in a 24-hour span where millionaires are made off of a meme.
Well, it's the tech industry, right? I think this is another podcast topic.
It is. It is.
It's what's the actual value, right, in social media and right, because it's a huge portion of our economy, but what's the real value and how volatile is that, right?
That brings us to number 7, conspiracy theories uncovered, fact, fiction, or both.
O3 is nailing it. Man, we should bring O3 on as a guest moderator.
I'm just saying, pull back the curtain on popularity conspiracy theories. Examine whether the kernel of truth is behind the wildest claims of how they shape our collective paranoia. I love that it dropped kernel in there. I just have to say, James, like, seriously, who, like, I think is better than our market people.
Yeah, I mean, it's AGI. It's thinking.
Folks, it's been a great week. Thanks for tuning. Next week, we will finally solve what AGI means, as well as make stock predictions. So be sure to tune in.
That's right.
Anything else you guys want to talk through?
Oh, I was just going to say, like, James is going to talk about sex, gender, and the future of love.
That's right.
By breaking down the binary.
Yep. Here he's going to do lots of research now.
Honestly, just going to say,
I said, I'm just going to bring my screaming baby onto the screen, and then you guys can know everything you need to know about what happens and the consequences. We'll call it Birds and the Bees episode.
Challenges conventional norms by exploring how definitions of gender and relationships are rewritten by our love lives and societal expectations.
Ooh,
until next time.
All right. Well, it seems like we're at a good point to wrap up here. The bourbon's starting to kick in. There you go.
All right, guys. Good.
That's how we know. All right. We'll see you next time.
Don't close your screens.
Don't drink in O3.
We'll work on it.